Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Brandon Ingoldsby with Wolves Group with LPT in Central Florida. I wanted to talk to you guys today about buying your first house in Florida. I know a lot of people, they've been renting for a long time. They maybe think ownership isn't possible, or now they're finally deciding to take that next step and stop being a renter and go out and pursue home ownership. So I wanted to go over some of the things today, kind of like step 1 to 9, 1 to 10 of, going through that process of becoming a homeowner. Try to help educate anyone that needs some, helpful information on this topic. So without any further ado, let's get going. And of course, if you guys have any questions in addition to this video, all my contact information is going to be down below. And if you just want to check out some properties, click the link down below in the description. We have all the properties located in Central Florida that are for sale on that website. And like I said, if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Let's go into step 1. So step 1 is going to be committing to buying a house. This step might sound kind of basic, but if you are currently renting a house, you've been renting a house, or you've been in an apartment for a long time, just simply deciding that you're going to buy is going to be a really great step in the right direction. So many people, they become lifelong renters because they never make that decision to go out, take the necessary steps and buy a house. It can be a daunting task to start saving up that down payment, but I promise you, if you put your head down, decide that it's something that you're going to do, and you start just putting money away in that metaphorical cookie jar, so to speak, over time, you will have that down payment saved up and ready to go. So step number 1 is making that decision and starting to save up that down payment. Now, regarding the down payment, it is actually going to be less money than most people probably think. If you qualify for an FHA loan, which most people will if they have a good secure job and have a quality credit score, I believe right now it's right around 600 credit score, you're only looking at about 3.5% down. It's 3.5% down for the loan, and then there's going to be closing costs. But one thing we'll get into later is if your realtor negotiates closing costs into the deal for you, then you can only come out, right around that 3.5% number. So step number 2 is going to be speaking with that lender to figure out where you are currently at financially. Like I said, you got to be around that 600 mark. You got to have a secure job for the last 2 years. And, odds are if you're buying your first house, you're either going to be at a 3.5% FHA loan, 3% conventional loan. And if you're not quite there yet, if you could get a family member to co-sign with you or be on the loan with you, that could help expedite the process. But of course, if you can't do that, then we just have to figure out a roadmap to get you to the point where you are able to, make a move on that first property for yourself. So step number 3 is going to be connecting with a solid local realtor that works in your area, that understands the area, and someone that you trust. Now, this can be interchangeable with, step number 2 with finding a lender, because sometimes realtors will have great lender contacts. Other times you might know a lender contact, they might get you in touch with a realtor, or you might know one of each. Whichever it is, you just want to work with people that you feel comfortable working with, that have helped people in your situation before, and that know the market that you're going to be buying in. So definitely link up with a solid real estate agent. They are free to use. Some people don't know that, but the selling side actually pays the realtor's commissions. You're basically getting an expert to work with you for free. So you definitely can't beat that. So definitely link up with a local realtor that you trust. So step number 4 is going to be sitting down with your realtor, figuring out what criteria you're looking for in a home and getting that home search going. Basically, we all have the ability to, at least most of us have the ability to set you up on an automated home search for what your criteria is. That way, the minute something pops up on the market, we know about it, we can go look at it, and we can evaluate whether or not we want to make an offer on that property or find something else. Now, a big part of this criteria is going to be knowing the price point that you're actually looking in, and based on interest rate, your income, your credit score, all that good stuff, we should have a good idea of what price point it is that you'll be looking in, because of course price, will dictate some of the criteria. We will have a good idea on what price point you're able to look in after you have that prolonged conversation with the lender where they get an idea of, like I said, your income, credit score, all that different criteria. Step number 5 is not being desperate for the deal. Now, sometimes when you're renting and you finally make that decision to buy and you're ready to go, you get to the point where you're able to pull the trigger and you see a deal and you're like, this is the one, I'm gonna hop on this, blah, blah, blah. You do not wanna be desperate for that deal. I do understand that buying your first house, because I did it a couple years ago, can be a really daunting experience. It can be a little emotional, right? Because you're like, I finally want to get this place. I'm so excited. But don't be desperate for the deal. There are plenty of deals out there. You don't want to rush into something that doesn't have all the ducks in a row. By that, I basically mean you don't want to get into your first property and it has an old roof, an old AC, old electrical, old plumbing, and you're gonna have all these big ticket items that are due to be replaced in a year or two. That would just be absolutely detrimental, and it would probably blow your budget. Unless a $5,000 to $20,000 expense wouldn't phase you, it's really important to be careful on what you pick for your first house and make sure that the big ticket items are taken care of, or it's at least going to be manageable financially for you over the next 5-10 years. Personally, for my first house, I actually bought an older 1950s home, but it was all block. It had a brand new roof, brand new electrical, brand new HVAC, and all new plumbing as well, and it had the bathrooms redone. So I didn't have to worry about any big ticket items. We recently had a big storm come by, the roof was fine, so definitely very fortunate there. But my point is I found something that was solid, it's been here for a while, and all of the major, expenses were already taken care of. So I can have a little bit of peace of mind, for the next few years on that particular property. So number 6 is going to be understanding that you're not going to get everything that you want in your first house. Unless you have an unlimited budget, it's important to have realistic expectations. If you get 6 or 7 out of 10 different items, on your wish list, so to speak, then that's hitting a home run, in my opinion. And you need to understand that the first house that you're buying is essentially a stepping stone, because you're going to buy this first house, you're going to be in there for, say, 3 to 7 years, right? You're going to build some equity, because the house is going to appreciate, you're going to make payments, but you're going to get into this house, start building some equity, and then when the time comes and you're going to upgrade, for whatever reason, you're going to be able to take that equity and then roll it into the next house, which means odds are you're probably going to have a much larger budget for your second house. And that's where you can maybe either do a new construction or, find that home that has, 9 out of 10 things that you're looking for, or 10 out of 10 things. But for your first house, find something that's going to work for now. Understand that it's probably not going to be your forever home, and then move on and upgrade from there. Step number 7 is, once you find the home that you think you want to make an offer on, is have your agent write it up. This is going to be the most nerve-wracking part, is when you have an offer or two out there and you're waiting to hear back on it. It definitely is nerve-wracking, the first time, but it is really fun. So definitely enjoy that and hope that you hear back some good news for whichever property it is that you're really hoping for. So step number 8. You got your offer accepted, so congratulations on that. But now's the part where you have to do your due diligence, meaning you need to have a licensed inspector. Odds are your agent has some quality contacts that they can recommend to you, but you need to have them go out and check that property out extremely thoroughly. They're going to look at everything from the roof, if there's a crawl space, they're going to look at the crawl space, foundation, walls, interior, appliances, plumbing. They're going to look at a whole bunch of stuff and basically try to find if there's any big ticket items that need to be replaced. Because as mentioned earlier, you do not want to get into a property with a big unexpected surprise that you're going to have to take care of. Now, step number 9 is going to be finishing out the closing process. meaning that title is going to do the title search, you're going to get an appraisal done, you're going to have to sign a whole bunch of lender documents, assuming that you're getting financing, and then finally you're going to get the clear to close, and then you're going to schedule the closing date, go in, sign, and boom, the house is yours. So the last and final step is going to be moving into the property. Congrats, you made it. This is what you've been looking to do for a long time. So definitely enjoy it. Understand that there are a lot of responsibilities that come with being a homeowner. There are going to be things that you didn't have to worry about when you were renting before, but it doesn't matter because it's your property. So that is awesome. I hope you guys learned something from this video. Once again, my name is Brandon Ingoldsby with Wolves Group LPT in Central Florida. If you'd like to reach out to me with any questions or view any properties in Central Florida, definitely check out that description down below. I have a link to my website as well as all of my contact information. Please hit the like and subscribe button, as I would greatly appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.